Hi, I'm Maggie Shane, and this is the Bliss Blog. This week's post, Offerings at the Crossroads, a look at the dark goddesses and their meanings. It is said that if you have a dire need, you may ask Hecate for her assistance by leaving her an offering at the crossroads on the dark of the moon. Some sources say the new moon, but those two times are so close together that you could overlap from one to the next during your ritual. The moment the moon goes dark, she is reborn. Oh, just feel what that tells you about your own precious soul, your own beloved life. As above, so below. As within, so without. The moment the moon goes dark, she is reborn. I like that. Same. The dark goddesses are filled with depth and meaning that is not negative or frightening in any way, and their powers are great. They are aspects of ourselves that we can explore and we can use. So first, I want to talk about Hecate. She's Greek, but it is theorized she originated with the older Carian people of Anatolia. But I say she's far older than that because she was addressed in Greece as Hecate Ereshkigal multiple times. That pushes her back all the way to ancient Sumer. Ereshkigal was Inanna's dark sister, her older sister and goddess of the underworld, and her people lived from 4000 to 2000 BCE in the Fertile Crescent in what is now northern Iraq. Hecate is a goddess of boundaries and borders, and a goddess of witches. Dogs are one of her sacred animals, and the owl is her messenger, and the horse and boar are also hers. The yew and willow and the osier shrub in the willow family are her sacred plants. It is said that a witch's besom, or broomstick, must be bound with osier, or it's not worth making. Its technical name is Salix viminalis, also called basket willow. And I realize as I'm looking at this that I have this stuff growing everywhere there's a wetlands on my place. Her three aspects are Hecate, Proserpina, goddess of the underworld and later corn and grain, aka Persephone and Kore, and Diana, or in Greek, Artemis, goddesses of the earth and of the hunt, who also traveled with dogs. Diana, Artemis, is a huntress, and she's often depicted with a bow and drawing back the bowstring, but usually the crescent moon forms the bow itself. Other sources give other names, but I'm going with Janet Farrer, one of the mothers of the modern craft movement in the United Kingdom, an Alexandrian witch and author of 15 books from 1981 to 2016 on witchcraft, including the excellent reference books The Witch's Goddess and The Witch's God, which I refer to constantly. Ereshkigal, the ancient Sumerian goddess with whom Hecate is so strongly linked, is also a goddess of the underworld. Hecate Ereshkigal was invoked to offer comfort to the dying, to assure them they would not suffer in the afterlife that she ruled. They would find comfort and healing instead. Dark lapis lazuli was sacred to the Sumerian Ereshkigal, and her six-sided underworld palace was made of it. Hecate's Celtic equivalent might well be the Morrigan, aka Morrigu, who is also a triple goddess associated with death and many other things. Now, her three aspects are Bave and Moxa and Anu. Taken together, they are called the Marigna, and they are the keepers of fate, the keepers of the fate of humans. Morrigan is often said to mean phantom queen. The Morrigan is a shapeshifter, and she can transform into a crow, an eel, a wolf, a young beautiful woman, or an old woman, or a white heifer, with red ears. In fact, the name of her battle goddess aspect, Bave, is a word that means cow. In her aspect as Moxa, meaning battle, she is associated also with the land, with fertility, and kingship. She had sex with or married the kings in order to confer their kingship over her land. Also, horses. She's mainly associated with battle and fate, the Morrigan. A king saw her washing his armor in the ford, and he knew it foretold his death. But other tales have her as overseeing the land and the animals, and she could have been an earth goddess originally. So we have crows, dogs, horses, the underworld, the land, kingship, fate, battle, the yew tree. Underlying all of it, though, is that notion of the underworld. The underworld, to the Celts, was a world of peace and wonderful delights called Anwen or Magnell. I'm probably not pronouncing those correctly. It was not a place to be feared in itself, but it did have other levels. To the Sumerians, the underworld was a dark place far below the earth, where the dead lived on, but there was no eternal torment, like in hell, which was invented by the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. To the Greeks, the underworld had many sections, including the Isles of the Blessed, the Elysian Fields, and the Asphodel Meadows, all of which were paradise-like. There were deeper levels, however, like Tartarus, where the dead were more or less obliterated. Not tormented, just dropped into the utter darkness of non-existence. A sidebar on the notion of hell. Hell in the Christian Bible was translated from two words, Gehenna in Greek and Sheol in Hebrew. Gehenna was actually the name of a place where there was a large pit, where the bodies of the diseased and criminals and other outcasts were burned, as I was taught in my very early studies. Wikipedia says it's a place where kings sometimes sacrificed their children by fire. Cheerful thought. Because of that, the place was said to be cursed. It's also said to be the location of several burial caves used by generations of families. But it never meant a lake of eternal fiery torment after death. Those who translated it that way had reasons. Sheol is a Hebrew word that means, through its purest translation, the grave. God is love, right? So there's no way an eternal hellfire exists, except in the depths of the human mind. Now, about those crossroads. A crossroad is a place where two roads meet, so it's an intersection. To leave a proper offering at an intersection today might involve risk to life and limb, although I suppose one might find an intersection on a dirt road and out in the country. But let's think about the deeper meaning of crossroads. Crossroads are moments when we face a major choice. Do we go left? Do we go right? Do we go straight ahead? Are there more options than that? Is our crossroads one of those like the one over in Hamilton, New York, where there are 5 different directions you can choose when the light turns green? Some intersections, I hear, have even more. A crossroads is a moment of change, a moment when we face our future and make a decision. Traditionally, in ancient Greece and Rome, Hecate was called upon when a person had 3 choices to choose between. But I think choices in general, not trivial choices, but vital decisions, all fit the bill. Whatever direction we choose might bring great change. So the advice to leave an offering at the crossroads to the goddess of death and rebirth could be reasonably interpreted as leave an offering to the goddess of transformation when you face a moment of crucial and absolute change and choice. The offering at the crossroads. Find something special that depicts one of the sacred animals, dog, horse, boar, crow. Sometimes they have those special little gemstones with animals engraved in them, Alternatively, you could draw the animal on some ribbons or bring a piece of dark lapis lazuli if Irish Kigal is your gal. Hecate's Crossroads offerings were traditionally Hecate's supper, though finding sources of what that supper might include is difficult. You left the food at the crossroads, and then you walked away without looking back. This was very important. So step 1, choose the offerings and set them on an altar with representations of the 4 elements surrounding them. A dish of salt in the north for earth, burning incense in the east for air, a lighted candle in the south for fire, and moon water, holy water, blessed water in the west. I would think food offerings for Hecate, Artemis, or Diana would include things like olives, water, and wine. For the Celtic-leaning folk, offer the Morrigan whiskey. Step 2, bless the offerings. Activate your altar, then hold your hands over your offering. Visualize white light blasting it with purification and your own essence. Remember, the goddess is you. Say something like, "We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return, like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean." After you've done this part, move the offering through each of the elements, or alternatively move each of the elements over the offering, whichever makes sense. Waft it with the incense smoke. Pass the flame over it. Sprinkle it with the holy water. Scatter it with the salt. At each stop, say, "Bless this offering that it be pure, potent, and pleasing to the goddess." Hint, if it's pleasing to you, it'll be pleasing to her. So use that standard when you choose an offering. Don't be afraid to use your imagination. It's the intent and the emotion that really give magic its punch. Step 3, offer the offering. If you want to be literal, take the offering to a crossroads. You might also take it to the very corner boundary of your property, since crossroads back in the day often marked boundaries of properties and even villages. Or you could find a place where 2 roads meet. Alternatively, you might place the offering on an X you've drawn on a flat rock or make one with tape on a floor. Get creative. Take the offering to this spot you've chosen and hopefully scoped out earlier. Call to the goddess by name. Say your name. State your purpose. And as you do this, present to her your choices. For example, your script might look like this. Walking to the spot, hold up the offering. Irish Kigal, I, your servant, bring you this offering. O Irish Kigal, queen of the underworld, I, your magical name, your servant, bring this offering. And then place the offering. Say, I face a choice of great importance, and I seek your wise counsel, O knower of fate. My options are these, and then lay them out. May my offerings please you. May your wisdom find me. So mote it be. And then turn around and walk away and do not look back. And it is done. Now here's a divination that also might help when making difficult choices. After the offering, you can take any deck of tarot cards. Shuffle the cards while pondering one of your choices. When you feel the shuffling is complete, stop. Trust your inner guidance on this. Just trust that you'll stop at the right moment, and you will. Then state that option that you were thinking about as you shuffled, and state it as if you have chosen it. I choose to buy a new car, for example. Then flip 3 cards face up side by side. Now, don't bother reading the cards yet. Shuffle again, this time focusing on the second option. Stop when you feel it and state it as a choice. I choose to get the old car repaired. Again, flip 3 cards. Shuffle again, thinking of the third option, and then state it. I choose to lease a new car, and place 3 cards. It's important to remember which 3 cards were for which choice, so write it down. Write it down beforehand and then say them in that order so that you don't forget. I've done this and forgotten which row went with which choice, so this is why you learn from my wisdom. Reading the cards goes like this. Card 1 of the 3 is body and earth, so that will cover finances, property, money, things you own. Card 2 for each choice is mind or air. So that's going to cover inspiration, transportation, electronics, and travel. Card 3 is spirit, soul, which covers the level of alignment of this choice with your inner being's guidance. Is this choice going to get me where I want to go? And there you have it. There's some magical help for making potentially life-altering decisions. Please don't forget to click the little heart and like this post if you see one underneath it. Also, subscribe for free or consider upgrading to paid to get a whole bunch of free goodies. It's also really helpful if you share this post either broadly on your social media or with someone you think might enjoy it privately. I so appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week. Be sure to leave a comment if there's a topic you'd like me to cover. See you next time.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Jack is the only medium she hasn't been able to expose as a fraud. So when a ghost shows up in her house, who's she gonna call?